Welcome back to TMZ Live. We got deep into Cassie's cross-examination earlier in the show. And one of the things that we've been talking about is that she may not end up being the star witness here because a lot of her testimony just hasn't been directly about the counts that he's facing in this criminal trial.
I want to say she may not be, but the way the U.S. attorney put it and the fact that she's witness one, and they positioned her as the star witness. So the question, for me at least, is, did they deliver?
Did they deliver? And if not with Cassie, with whom will they deliver? Joining us right now to discuss that is Teray, who is, of course, covering the trial for his Substack, Culture Fries. And I'm sure you've been glued to every line of testimony as it comes out, just as we have. Well, welcome back to the show, man.
Thank you. Thank you. You know, I see a lot of people saying, and maybe Harvey is in this camp of like, the government isn't making their case. I think the government is absolutely making their case.
The prosecution appears to be building a strong narrative around Diddy's alleged ongoing criminal enterprise. However, the need for compelling evidence is crucial. Without it, the jury may struggle to connect the dots between the intimate details of Cassie's testimony and the broader allegations of Abu.
I don't even know what the defense is trying to do.
Oh, we like a little healthy debate here, so.
Okay, so
First of all, let me just say you're very perceptive.
I'm not a lawyer, but they're not making their case to lawyers. They're making a case to civilians, to jurors. The government is alleging a criminal conspiracy, an ongoing criminal enterprise, right? Diddy was committing an ongoing rape of Cassie, right? Distinct but linked series of crimes. He's doing that with the help of a group of people who are in his employ, who are doing sometimes illegal things or help creating the illegal act together, right? His chief of staff, his head of security, other people, his businesses are paying for these events. That's a criminal enterprise. A group of people who are employed by him are helping him commit an ongoing series of linked but distinct crimes.
Okay, but let me stop you there, because I don't even think the government is arguing what you're arguing. I think the racketeering is going to get into the alleged kidnappings and the Kid Cudi car explosion and all those other things. What you're talking about, where she mentioned several times she was raped, those are crimes. If it's true, they're state crimes. But I'm telling you,
no, the freak-off is a crime also if you are bringing, that's bringing someone.
Freak-off is sex trafficking.
Right,
and
is the transporting someone for sexual.
A group of people.
I'm telling you, there is a separate charge of bringing a prostitute for the purpose of commercial purposes. Yes. And he may be, let me make my point. He may be prosecuted for that. But the racketeering, if you're going to try and say racketeering is what they did in the hotel room, I don't think the jury's going to buy that. And what they're getting at is, look, the problem I'm having is they're bringing up a lot of domestic violence. And I've heard a lot of the people in the courtroom are saying the same thing. It's like they're bringing up a lot of domestic violence. And but a lot of it, they're crimes, but they're not connected to the charges that he faces federally. And when you look at the freak-offs, what I've been looking for is close the loop that she's saying, in my mind, I was afraid that I was going to be hit or something.
They don't have to close the loop on day 4 of the testimony.
This is their star witness, and they've just rested on the star witness. They may have
She's
redirect.
Really coerced to doing these events.
Here, the tension escalates as the defense attempts to undermine the credibility of Cassie's claims. The focus shifts to the consent dynamic, raising questions about the true nature of their relationship. This moment encapsulates the heart of the trial. Can emotional manipulation be equated with coercion?
Why do you say clearly coerced?
She said she didn't want to do it. She said she was
forced to who? But that's what I'm saying. Did she say that to Diddy? She said
yes.
She said
yes. She told him she didn't want to do these events. She understood that they were physically painful to her.
But where did she say that? Listen, I'm looking for that too. No,
On day two.
we've looked, I mean, give me the transcript where she says to him directly, I don't want to do it, and he forced her to do it. There are
She said
insinuations.
she didn't want to do it. That she's the one being sex trafficked. She's the one who felt coerced to be part of these incidents. That she
Yes,
felt
that's true.
the three cops were her job.
Yes,
Right?
but
Like that's a devastating comment, right?
no, but wait a minute. Feeling it is one thing, and clearly she felt that. To convict him, it has to be in some way, and it could be by physical movement. It has to be expressed.
She's being taken to different places to have sex workers urinate into her mouth. No juror is going to go, maybe she liked it. She said she didn't like it. She went along with it for him, right? That's right. And there's a group of people who made that happen.
You're right, and the jury may just say, "Look, this is so far beyond the pale, if you will, that we're just going to say guilty no matter what." But when you read that testimony, she says what she was internalizing. The problem the prosecutors have, and look, believe me, I'm not taking Diddy's side. What he's done is just horrific here. But
yeah.
I know what jurors do. They're going to look at the jury instructions, and they're going to look at three words: consent, force, and coercion. And what they've got to see is somehow that's communicated in some form.
This pivotal statement underscores the challenge for the prosecution. If they cannot demonstrate a clear line of communication regarding consent and coercion, the defense might exploit this gap. The stakes are high, and the courtroom drama is intensifying as both sides prepare for an explosive showdown.
And when you read
from Cassie to Diddy in real life.
That's right. And in the urination testimony, it's not there, Torre. It's just not there.
What do you mean it's not there?
She never told him.
I didn't.
No. She said it was disgusting.
I felt. She said.
Yeah, she said
this
I
is
felt
what I was feeling.
Exactly.
As opposed to I told him I don't want
exactly
him or others urinating on it. Because she didn't say it to him.
I feel like she said it to him that she didn't want to do this. And I'm not sure that jurors are going to hang up on, you didn't tell him. He controlled her life. He controlled her, where she lived. He controlled her career. She felt this was a job. That's sex trafficking.
Who do we think could be, if it's not Cassie, as it's feeling now that she's not the star?
The prosecution appears to be building a strong narrative around Diddy's alleged ongoing criminal enterprise. However, the need for compelling evidence is crucial. Without it, the jury may struggle to connect the dots between the intimate details of Cassie's testimony and the broader allegations of Abu.